arrived in India, in this country of huge population, he didn't know many people. If he has to organize a 10-day Vipassana course in a land where people have never heard of Vipassana, who would organize? This is a residential course. How would people come and stay with him for 10 days? All these questions were there, but somehow at the right time he got right help. The first Vipassana course was offered in 1969 in Panchayatiwadi near Mumbai. His parents, few of friends sat in this course, got immensely benefited. And then people who had sat for this course started demanding that, oh, my friend wants to sit for this. I want my friend to attend this course. One of my relatives, if he attends, he'll be benefited. Can you arrange for one more course, one more course, one more course? And it happened that one course after another, and then this wheel of Dhamma, this wheel of Vipassana started rotating, which was unheard of for many generations in India. The initial courses were for 10 days only. Almost for 10 years, many years he was offering 10-day courses. And the initial courses were organized at any place, whichever they could get, community hall, dharamshalas, schools, Samaj Mandir and all that. But gradually a need was felt that let there be a permanent center where courses are offered every year, every month, could be offered every month. And it so happened that a land was offered near Igatpuri. It was bought and the first Vipassana center, Dhammagiri, was established in Igatpuri. And then it was in 1975. And then the first 10-day course in Dhammagiri was established, was offered in 1976. Now 1979, many of initial students of Goenka ji were Westerners. And they started feeling that Dhamma should come to their land also. They were consistently asking Goenka ji that do come to our place and do offer these courses over there. So to finally, for their desire to get fulfilled, it was 1979 had to come. And after overcoming many obstacles, many logistic obstacles also, finally the first course was offered in France, Montreal, later in USA, Canada, UK, and gradually centers were established outside India also. And even in India, centers started getting established in other places other than Dhammagiri. Jaipur was one of the places. Hyderabad was another place, like it started happening. And initial courses, like if we see the statistics, just 12, 15 people, sometimes 35 people, and Goenka ji used to write these reports to Sayaji that there was a course for 35 students. And Sayaji was so happy that Goenka is teaching 35 students. And now the many more people, see, there were so many centers, and for every course so many people were, students were coming, getting benefited and all that. So this is how it started, this Vipassana centric approach to Buddhism started. Through Vipassana, all these people were getting oriented, becoming aware of Buddha's words, which was not like Buddha was heard of, like it is there, Buddha's story is there in the history books, but still what exactly he has taught, people were unaware of, and that people started becoming aware of that. So now a question comes that 2500 years ago, Buddha got enlightened in this very land. We know that it was in Bodh Gaya. And how come it happened that Goenka ji received this Vipassana, the teaching of Buddha, in Myanmar, and also people in India had not heard of Buddha's teaching for so many generations? So the history tells us that after Buddha's final passing away, almost for 500 years, people were practicing the Noble Eightfold Path, path of Shila Samadhi Prajna as taught by Buddha as it is. It was like after Buddha, it was like 250 before the current era, that means around 200 years after Buddha's, around 200 years after Buddha's time. We know of King Ashoka. This is also a well-known name by history. And he has, when he became aware of Buddha's teachings, he learnt it, benefited by it, and felt that all his subjects, all his people should be learning, should understand what this teaching is, not only at theoretical level, but also the actual understanding of that. He was also the person who has called together the third Dhamma Sangiti, the third synod, under the tutelage of Moggalliputta Tissa. He was an Arhat. Arhat is a person who has worked on his mind so much that he has completely eradicated all the defilements. So this was under the leadership of Moggalliputta Tissa that this third Dhamma Sangiti took place. And Dhamma conference took place. And it so happened that King Ashoka has decided to send Dhamma Dutas, Dhamma messengers to neighboring countries as well. So Arhat Sona and Arhat Uttara were the two people who were sent this mission to send Dhamma to Swarnabhumi at that time. Swarnabhumi is Burma and Thailand together. It was together at that time. So it was through Arhat Sona and Uttara that Burma received this Buddha's teaching. Many people started practicing, and many people also studied Buddha's words and all that. But later on it happened that, it happens that gradually people leave the path of practice, and it happens like when people do not follow the actual teaching, do not practice the teaching, that the path gets muddled up. And people know the words, people know the theory, but nobody is practicing. But it happened that a small group of monks, the Dhamma, the Buddha's teaching in practice was actually going on in the tradition. It was being followed by this small group of monks, and it was going to the next generation in a teacher-pupil thing. The very recent lineage we all know, many of us know, is Venerable Ledi Sayadaw. He was a monk, a very well-known popular monk in Theravada Buddhist countries. He was good in Pariyatti as well as Patipatti. He has written extensively about the practice of Vipassana. And he is also important for one of his decisions. See, this was 18th century or so, and Vipassana is limited to only to a group of monks. And he says that if this teaching is to eradicate suffering, then it should be available to all the people. Why should only remain only confined to monasteries? He decided to teach it to lay people also. One of his lay disciples was Sayateji. Sayateji, he was a farmer, excelled in actual practice. He started teaching, like Ledi Sayadaw appointed him as a teacher, and he started teaching many lay disciples. Sayaji Ubakin, Goenkaji's teacher, was one of his disciples. Ledi Sayadaw, Webu Sayadaw, another contemporary monk of Sayaji Ubakin, when he saw the achievements of Sayaji Ubakin, asked Sayaji to start teaching and supported him in many ways. Sayaji was, as I already said, that he was working in Burmese government, but he started offering 10-day courses. And now we know the story that Goenka ji received Dhamma, received this teaching from Sayaji Ubakhe. So this is the lineage starting from Buddha, and we received the Buddha's words from Goenka ji. Now what is the uniqueness of this Vipassana centric approach? So Goenka ji's name gets associated with this Vipassana centric approach because it is with this time that it got, it was on, courses were offered on a mass scale, and many people started getting Vipassana. Throughout his teaching career as a Dhamma teacher, he always used the word Dhamma, never used the word Buddhism. People used to ask him that these are Buddha's words, right? He would say that yes, these are Buddha's words. So this is Buddhism, right? So he would say that this is not Buddhism, these are Buddha's words, this is Buddha's teaching. And when asked, he would say that I am not a Buddhist, but I am teaching Buddha's teaching to people. So this of his approach would annoy some of the senior monks also in Burma. Later on, he did get an opportunity to explain his views to the senior peoples in Theravadin countries. So what was this approach? He said that this is as per the, this is Dhamma, this is the universal law of nature. What is this law of nature? So this is the law of nature about mind. What does it say? It says that whenever your mind is defiled, you are bound to get misery. It is like any other natural law. And that's why he said that this is natural law of mind, human beings. So the law that when two parts of oxygen and one part of hydrogen would come together, it gives water. And the law is that simple, and it is applicable anywhere and everywhere. Goenka ji would give this example and say that this law of nature about mind is also applicable anywhere and everywhere. Whichever place you go, the law is the same, that people develop some cravings, some defilements, and misery is bound to come. If they want peace, if they want happiness, they have to practice to take out, uproot these defilements. And they can do that, like in Vipassana meditation is the practical way to uproot these things, uproot these defilements.